This stock usually trades around 1 million shares a day, and then suddenly, overnight, it traded 41 million shares and jumped over 40% in a single trading session. Since then, it's been up 632%, if you can believe that. Unbelievable. I didn't find this stock through a Discord channel. I didn't find it through scrolling through social media endlessly. I found it with a single, simple prompt. And I'm going to show you what that prompt is right now. Let's have a look at some charts and let's get into how I found this incredible stock and what it's done since, and how you can find incredible breakout stocks with AI. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, so here we are looking at the ERAS stock back in September of 2025, and I got in here. We had a little bit of volume coming up, and I just really liked this breakout and semi-decent volume on the E stock, on the earnings. They had a great earnings. And so I got in here and I really like the look of it. And this is kind of my little penny stock micro cap range that I quite like. And I got in just after this big pop. Probably should have waited for the pullback and earned myself an extra 10%. But anyway, I got in here and I found this with an AI prompt, which I'm going to show you all about in just a second. And it rose up and up and up, and I was quite happy with this. And as you can see, volume is kind of, it's very low around here, trading around the, you can see it up here. We've got the around the 900,000 1 mil mark here. And that's pretty standard. And then we see a little bit of a rise here. So a nice breakout there at the $1.78. And that's generally the pattern you want to see, right? You want to see a consolidation and then a pop. And then, of course, we've got this huge lumbering 200-day moving average, and then it's getting crossed over by the 150 and the 50. I think that is. You just double check the 150 and the 50 and the 20. Yeah. And so this is really what you want to be looking at, is where the narrative changes around the stock, basically. And we see a breakout and we see increasing volume. And then the classic consolidation and a little bit of a pullback down to $2.10, and off that, what are we calling it? The 50-day moving average. So really nice. And so again, a great earnings and then a bigger pop up. So it's all looking really good. And I probably should have gotten in here if I'd spotted it a bit earlier with the AI prompt, but I got in a little bit later. And so I got in here and I got in at $3.20. And here we see increasing volume suddenly exploding, and 41 million shares from 1.6, and it starts to look pretty nice indeed, doesn't it? So if we just zoom out a little bit, we can see this explosion. So I got in at 230, and it was just day after day after day of increases, and it was really quite extraordinary. So I got my just over 100% trade in there in just a few days. So that was really fantastic. Much to my surprise, it kept on going. So that was really my entry point there at $6, but I didn't get back into it because I was too busy launching my YouTube channel and other things. And so I got stopped out here, and what do you know, it just kept on going. And at this point I thought it's gonna collapse. It's gotta collapse. I've never seen a stock behave like this in my entire life. I thought it's gotta collapse. Where are the down days? I'll get back in on the dips. And lo and behold, it just kept on going. I saw a little dip here, and I drew a trend line in, and I thought, well, there's a trend line here, I'll just do a bit of swing trading. So it came down to this, and I thought, well, I'm going to get in. So I got back in, and what did I get in at? I got in 100 shares at $12.50. So small potatoes, $1,200, and it started going up again. A gap up on decent volume, 3 mil, and lo and behold, it just kept on going. And it went all the way up to here and pulled back and smashed off the 20-day. And so I greedily gobbled up another healthy 17%, which wasn't too bad. But lo and behold, it came down and had a huge recovery, not on ginormous volume, but just reasonable volume. It's gone up quite a bit in the space of time. And what do you know? I moved the stop loss up, so I got it at 12.52. So my stop loss would have been 10%, which is $1.20, which is 11.30. So the stop loss was down here or something. Didn't get anywhere near it, really. Just unbelievable. And smacked through my stop loss and just kept on going. What's the average true range on this? We don't really know. Around that time it was $1, so my stop loss is absolutely spot on. I find 10% is generally always the average true range anyway, so it's a much of a muchness for me. And lo and behold, it is kind of blown up through the $16 mark and has just gone on. Where are you? Come back. It has just gone on and on and on. This stock is just the most bonkers stock ever. So if I just shut up and, I mean, you can't. I mean, that is the stop loss because it's going to come tanking all the way down. You never know. So that is the stop loss. But in hindsight, that's your re-entry, right? Because it's just looking very strong and unstoppable. And so I should have gotten in. I would have missed a few percentages here. I probably might have got stopped out there. $1.50, probably that's 14.40. Yeah, I might have just stayed in the trade. Maybe not. I would have got stopped out. And this would have just stopped everything out. It's sneaky. But really, if your entry is there, and I mean, guys, you could have. What is it? 600. It's gone off. It's off the charts. It's literally off the charts. Let's try that again. It is an off the chart trade. I mean, you could have got out in there at 6.39. So. It comes down, it bounces off the 20, it touches the 20, it touches the 20, it will come back down to the 20 again, and this may be another re-entry. It's only $20. Guys, this stock is going to the moon. And so let's just keep watching it. It's absolutely bonkers. So what did I do to find this? Let me show you, and then I'll show you a couple more that are absolutely blowing up. So very simple. Find small cap stocks with high relative volume, meaning, you know, the last few days. And we want to look for big volume explosions, a recent breakout above resistance and strong price momentum. So if we go back to ERAS, pre-explosion, so that is looking very good, isn't it? So a strong price momentum, it's moving away from the moving averages, which is nice. Buy the dips, guys, always buy the dips. And that's how you get into it. Big volume, good earnings, strong price momentum. And crucially, what I like to find is stocks that have been going along and doing not very much for a really long time. So I actually prefer if stocks a little bit flatter, you know. I like stocks that have been doing nothing, and then this big momentum swing change is generally quite a good place to get into that. You would have made a little bit of money on that, but the real money is obviously in this explosive movement. And you know, that line there where I just happened to get in, that was obviously the previous resistance back in 24, and it was never really getting above that. And so I just happened to, I realize now in hindsight, I just happened to buy in there. And because all I was looking at really at the time was this just big flat consolidation, seeing it starting to move. But it obviously broke through that in classic style and then bounced off that, turned that resistance into support, and then just rocketed to the moon. So what else have I found? Well, let's just go back to this one. So QUE and AMPL and BW, you can just pump this into Gemini. I find that Grok is pretty atrocious and ChatGPT is horrendous, so Gemini is the one to use if you're going to be doing stock scans. And this, guys, you can see a little pattern here. It's the breakout and the pullback. And if we go back to these sort of breakouts and pullbacks and breakouts and pullbacks, so and look at the volume. Look at the volume, guys. And we can see very soon that this moving average is about to go off, isn't it? And so this one is my tip for the top, QUE, healthcare and pharma, and it's been trading at 1.4 mil, 1.4, 1.8, and suddenly something, 200 million shares traded in one day, and it's jumped up. How much did it jump up? Let's have a look in just a day. Something's happening here, guys. Somebody knows something. And so it opens there 70% in a day. That's why we love penny stocks. It's so much fun. Volatile, but volatility is the fun part. So check out QUE. I'm going to put a line in here, a line in the sand, and I think we probably started watching it here. So we'll just keep it watching it from there. And, you know, you can double your money in 2 days. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's get into that. So that's the story, guys. We're going to keep on watching QUE. Can I zoom out of this ridiculous zoom in? Yes, thank you. AI Find, I've got a few more here that I'm watching. XNDU is also coming alive. This is a strange stock. I can't really find anything about it online. It's just that they've just had their IPO on the 27th of March, which was whatever, a month ago. And, you know, 1 million here, 1 million there, and then suddenly 17 million. And so someone's accumulating. This stock is going to blow up. It's not going nowhere. Double negative. It's definitely going somewhere. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I love XNDU. And this one also looks interesting. So this has come alive. It was a way up in the whatevers, miles, and suddenly they've had an earnings and volume is increasing and the moving averages are starting to cross. Could it be a golden cross? Who knows? Jump, pull back, jump, pull back. Where's it going to jump to next? I think above the 200-day, and then we're off to the races. BZAI. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Keep waiting for breakouts. Keep enjoying life. Peace and love. See you soon. Bye.